Sweet. So, excuse all the loud noise that's going on behind me. Hopefully you can hear me fine. Well, today Venus has gone direct. It's been retrograde for about a month, a little over maybe. And kind of the same old stuff that I've been mentioning in my other videos has been going on throughout the period of it being retrograde. But I just had like another outlook of it, retrograde, since since this morning, since it went direct. And the way I kind of see it, it's like when it goes retrograde, it goes backwards, and it kind of like, in terms of like astrology, it goes back through a sign, a previous sign, or previous areas of a sign, and then it goes forward. So it's like when it goes back, it covers what it already passed up, and then when it goes direct, you still have to go through what you've already been through for a third time, because you went past what you went past the first time, and then retrograde, you went back on what you passed, and then when it goes direct, it has to pass up all that same stuff all over again. And by the time it gets past the point in which it turned retrograde, I feel that's when things will actually start to actually move along and progress. So when things are in retrograde, they'll go back a certain point, and then they'll start moving forward, and it's like, okay, there's a shift from it going backwards to forward. How come things don't really feel different? Everything's kind of like almost going or relating to the same things that it already has been within the retrograde. And just in terms of theory, it's possibly because you're just going back over what you've already went through. So say Venus is direct, and it's from, it passed Cancer at 0 degrees and went all the way up to 20, turned retrograde, went back to Cancer at 10 degrees, and then it goes direct again, and then it has to cover still 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, when it goes direct, the second time coming out of retrograde, it's covering the same thing that I already covered, so there's not really anything new going on in terms of the nature and effects of that planet until it passes the 20 degrees in which it turned retrograde. And then I feel that's when things will start to begin to actually move on. So it's like, that made me think of like looking at retrogrades and seeing how far they go back and when they hit. And by that I mean, if I were to look at, say, like an ephemeris, and then I see when Venus is going to go retrograde, it's going to hit, and then I'm going to see how far back it's going to go. And the point in which it turns direct is the degree that I would likely pay attention to, because whatever's going on that degree in which it goes direct from retrograde, all that is going to be covered at least about 3 times. So whatever's going on in that area, from retrograde to direct, the degrees between that, whatever's going on there is likely what's going to be covered at least 3 times. Not a specific thing, but just that energy is going to be going on about 3 times. And it's not like I could control it or anything. Yeah, it's cool. Super waves. I'll show it. It was like a waterbed. That's awesome. Let me make sure I'm on track real quick. Almost. Okay, we're good. So yeah, anyways, that's just something that I'm looking forward to in retrograde periods. I haven't really found any kind of results, but that's just kind of what's going through my head, and ways to look at it, and something else to study in a sense in terms of astrology. But aside that little retrograde idea, I've been still on numerology. That's very interesting. Um, I was able to call out one person. It was a dead giveaway. Like, I got ones down pretty decent. Um, it's sometimes hard to catch, but I do got them down um, on a lot of different topics. Like, for ones, what I've noticed is that they're good with their hands. They can be very artistic. Penmanship can be pretty damn good. They can be very good with details, like say mechanics, sewing, stitching, crafts, things of that nature. It seems like they're attracted to artistic people. I'm gonna let this boat go by. So yeah, like I said, it seems to me that they're attracted to artistic people. I've seen it plenty of times. It hasn't failed yet. I mean, pretty much some of my closer, just best friends in general are ones. I'm a 7. You'll you'll hear about that in any numerology video of compatibilities to where ones get along with 7s, and it's been proven over and over again to me. Um, they're also very quiet though. Um, I don't think they're shy, although they may seem like it. I think they're just kind of like, I would say, I don't know. It's kind of like they kind of know what they want in a way, um, and when a lot of people come to them, it's like fuck off, whatever. I don't I don't need your stuff. Like, I know what I'm looking for. You're not it. Um, in a certain context, at least. And that's why they kind of seem like they're shy, or they're like kind of like disconnected in their own world, and it varies between female and male as well. Um, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then on 6s, I noticed that they kind of like, they're not really like handy with money. Um, they don't too much mind about it. Um, it's not like one of their top priorities. Like, they're not afraid to spend in a way. Um, and if they want something, then they'll get it. And it varies on people. I mean, when you tie astrology and numerology together, you get different results. But generally, those are like qualities of a 6. Another quality is that they get very frustrated. So I've noticed this countless times with 6s. They'll get pissed off. They'll want to touch you. If they get frustrated, they want to beat you up. They'll kind of get physical after they just get the beat down in whatever it is that they're doing, whether it be an argument or if it's competition. Um, especially video games, from what I've noticed. And it seems like they've always tried to pick what they think is the best, which is kind of like they're almost like a straightforward bullet. They don't really take time into figuring out the whole spectrum of things, kind of like what a 7 does. They're kind of like, okay, this works, I'm just going to use this. Or this has a good reputation, so I'm going to use this. And it's like when it comes to brand, things are kind of like important. They want quality in a sense. So I mean, like 6s and 1s, those two I have a lot of experience with. 7s kind of seem like they they don't really get frustrated with things. It's pretty damn difficult because it kind of seems like they have, I don't want to say like an open mind, but likewise, they have it like, it's a quality of exploration, the best way that I could put it. So like a 7 would be like when they get a manual, or like say not like a manual, that's lame. If they get like like some kind of product or something like a TV, they'll figure out everything, all the details and everything that this product could do. Basically, they'll go through all the options, figure out any way to get from here to there. They know all the routes and how to get into places, um, from cover to cover for the most part. Um, I kind of feel that they're observant as well. They're the kind of people that kind of like just sit back or just like chill in their mind and just kind of like let their mind wander while they're taking in their surroundings, basically. And it's more of a natural thing. Like I feel that way with every number and their qualities. It's not something that they try to do. It's something that they just do naturally. Um, and those are pretty much the numbers that I have experience with. Fives, twos, three, four, eights, and nines. I have a little bit of experience with nines, but not too much. Not enough to give any kind of analysis of where, okay, I see these qualities going on with this person. Um, I could get a read off of them. Um, Nines do tend to be artistic though, and I find that ones are attracted to that. I've seen a few relationships that are with ones and nines, and not exactly sure how they turned out. But yeah, that's about the only thing that I've found really to the core that I could really use as like a reading. Like, okay, this person's artistic. I know this person's a one, and I see how they're gravitated to this person. They may be a nine. But that's pretty much the most analysis that I have on nines. But other than that, not too much on the other numbers. Um, but yeah, it's just interesting, going through astrology now. I don't know if I mentioned it in my other videos, but let me see how long this one is. I might make a part two. um, there's no number. Fuck it, I'll just make a part two.